The secret to achieving everything you want in life is simple. Work hard, focus on yourself, and take responsibility for the person you're becoming. Because, my friends, if you want a life that's extraordinary, you've got to build an extraordinary you. You've got to wake up every day and ask, what's it going to take today? What do I need to do to move the needle forward? How much work am I willing to put in to make this day count? Because here's the harsh truth. Time waits for no one. And if you keep waiting for the perfect moment or the right conditions, you'll find that life has already passed you by. There is no right time. There is only right now. If you truly want to achieve everything you want in life, the first thing you must do is get serious. Get serious about your goals. Get serious about your growth. And most importantly, get serious about yourself. This is not a hobby. This is not a passing interest. This is your life, your future, and your success on the line. There's a moment in life, a crucial turning point where you must ask yourself, how serious am I about my future? You see, the first thing that separates those who succeed from those who don't is the level of commitment to their goals. It's not just about having dreams. It's about taking those dreams and turning them into a commitment. Most people talk about what they want to do, what they want to have, but they never get serious about it. They don't take it seriously enough to put in the work. I remember when I was starting out, I had big dreams just like you. But what I realized was that the people around me weren't as serious about their goals as I needed to be. It's easy to say, I want to be successful, but it's a whole different ball game when you wake up every day and ask yourself, what am I doing today to make this happen? That's the key to success, the ability to turn the dream into action. One of the greatest philosophies I ever learned came from an old mentor of mine who said, the first step toward success is not the dream itself. It's the willingness to go through the work that will make that dream real. And let me tell you, those words stayed with me because they were a wake-up call. I was running around dreaming big, but I wasn't fully engaged with the work required to make it happen. I wasn't serious enough. When you get serious about your goals, you treat them like a non-negotiable commitment. You show up every day, not just in the good times, but especially when it gets tough. Getting serious means that you're going to hold yourself accountable. You'll make sacrifices, stay focused, and stop blaming external circumstances for your lack of progress. You stop wishing for success and start working for it. But being serious about your goals is also about clarity. You must know exactly what you want. But it's not enough to say, I want to be successful. You need to define what success looks like for you. What does it mean for you to achieve everything you want in life? Is it financial freedom? Is it personal growth? Is it the ability to give back to your community? Whatever it is, get specific, write it down. And once it's written down, commit to it. Think about this. If you were to plan a trip to a destination, you wouldn't just hop in the car and hope to end up somewhere you want to be. No, you'd pull out a map, set your route, and then drive. Getting serious about your goals is just like that. You need a map, you need a plan. That's the first step. Without clarity and a commitment to the process, you'll be wandering aimlessly, wasting time and energy. I once had a conversation with a successful entrepreneur, and he shared something that made all the difference in my understanding of goal setting. He said, success is not about getting lucky. It's about being serious enough to keep moving toward your goals every day, even when it seems like nothing is happening. That stuck with me. Success is not instant, and it certainly doesn't come without struggle. But if you get serious about your goals, you start developing a work ethic that drives you even through the tough times, and that's where the magic happens. When you make the decision to get serious, you also start developing discipline. You start eliminating distractions. The world is full of distractions that keep us from focusing on our goals. People, situations, habits. They all pull us in different directions. But when you're serious about your goals, you develop the discipline to say no to things that don't align with your vision. You prioritize the things that bring you closer to your dreams. So ask yourself today, are you serious about your goals? Are you willing to do the work? Are you ready to turn those dreams into reality? Because until you make that commitment, nothing will change. The world will keep turning, and you'll be left with the same unfulfilled dreams. But once you get serious, really serious, everything changes. You'll look back one day and realize that getting serious was the moment that shifted everything for you. It's time to stop thinking about success and start committing to it. Make that decision today and start putting in the work. Success isn't a destination, it's a journey. And the truth is, the person you become along the way is just as important as the success itself. If you're going to achieve anything meaningful in life, you have to understand this simple but profound idea. Your personal growth determines your long-term success. It's not about the number of hours you work or the amount of money you make. It's about who you are becoming in the process. The more you develop yourself, the more equipped you become to handle challenges, opportunities, and everything in between. Personal growth is like a muscle. If you don't exercise it, it weakens. But if you put in the work daily, it strengthens, becoming an unshakable foundation that supports every aspect of your life. You see, the best investment you can ever make is in yourself. When you invest in personal development, you're preparing yourself to handle the success you desire. Success doesn't just fall on your lap. It's a reflection of who you are and the growth you experience along the way. I learned early in life that success is not just about acquiring things. It's about becoming someone worthy of those things. It's about building a mindset, habits, and skills that elevate you. Take a look around at successful people. What do they all have in common? They've invested heavily in their personal growth. They read books, they listen to mentors, they challenge themselves, and they never stop learning. Success is the byproduct of continuous personal development. Think about it like this. If you want to drive a high-performance car, you wouldn't just drive it without understanding how it works. You'd study the manual, you'd learn how to properly take care of it. You'd treat it with the respect it deserves. The same goes for yourself. If you want to achieve extraordinary things, you need to treat your own mind and body with the same level of respect. This means dedicating time each day to personal growth. A daily routine that supports your growth is not optional, it's essential. Personal development doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design, and it's not about making drastic changes. It's about making small improvements every day. I remember when I started reading every morning. At first, it felt like a small, insignificant change, but over time, those small moments of learning compounded. One idea, one concept, one strategy from a book or seminar. These pieces of wisdom began to shape how I thought, acted, and made decisions. The impact wasn't immediate, but over the years, it's been profound. A powerful daily routine doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't need to be hours long, but it does need to be consistent. Start with reading or listening to something that challenges your thinking. Start each day with positive affirmations or meditation to set your mind on the right path. Commit to learning something new every day, no matter how small it may seem. Even 30 minutes of reading can transform your life over the course of a year. Personal growth also means being willing to face the discomfort of change. It means stepping outside your comfort zone, pushing yourself, and holding yourself accountable. It's easy to get comfortable in the routines and habits that feel familiar, but that's where the growth stops. Growth happens when you embrace challenges, when you push past the fear of the unknown, and when you refuse to settle for mediocrity. I can tell you this, everything I've achieved in life has been a result of focusing on my personal development. I didn't achieve success because I was lucky or because the world handed me opportunities. I achieved success because I worked on myself every single day. And I can tell you that if you want long-term success, that's the key. It's not about working harder on your job or in your business. It's about working harder on yourself. It's about constantly learning, improving, and becoming better than you were yesterday. The beauty of personal growth is that it's within your control. It's not dependent on the economy, the people around you, or your circumstances. It's all about what you decide to do with your time and energy. So ask yourself, what are you doing today to develop yourself? Are you setting aside time for personal growth? Or are you actively seeking opportunities to learn and improve? Success is built on the foundation of continuous learning. If you want to achieve everything you dream of, you must adopt a mindset of lifelong learning. The world is constantly changing, and those who fail to adapt are left behind. It's not enough to have a degree or a job title. If you're not consistently growing, you're falling behind. To succeed, you must commit to learning every day, whether it's through books, mentors, or experiences. As the great philosopher Aristotle once said, education is the best provision for old age. Learning isn't something that ends when you leave school. It's a lifelong pursuit. Let me share something that changed my life. Early in my career, I found myself at a crossroads. I wasn't where I wanted to be, and I didn't know how to get there. Then I had the realization that my education didn't end with the last day of school. The real growth began when I decided to invest in learning that didn't just focus on facts and figures, but on the principles of success. I started reading books about wealth, personal development, business strategies, anything that would improve my thinking. I sought out mentors who had already achieved what I wanted. I listened to their advice, studied their experiences, and applied it to my life. It wasn't easy, and it didn't happen overnight. But by dedicating myself to learning and growing, I slowly transformed my life. Lifelong learning isn't just about acquiring new information. It's about applying that knowledge in a way that brings value to your life and others. Think of it this way. Information is like raw material. It's the work you put into turning that material into something valuable that makes the difference. If you simply collect books without reading them or attend seminars without applying the lessons, you're no better than someone with no knowledge at all. Knowledge without action is meaningless. You need to take what you learn and put it into practice. Books are a treasure trove of wisdom. In fact, I believe reading is one of the best investments you can make in yourself. Every book you pick up has the potential to change your life, to expand your understanding of the world, and to teach you something that will help you succeed. Don't just read for the sake of reading. Read with purpose. Be intentional. Pick up books that align with your goals, your passions, and your ambitions. Whether it's on business, leadership, personal growth, or even something as simple as health, learning from books opens up endless possibilities. But books alone won't take you to the next level. You need mentorship. No matter how much you read or study, there's wisdom you won't get from a book alone. The insights and guidance of someone who has already walked the path you're on are invaluable. Mentors can offer you shortcuts, show you where you're going wrong, and push you when you're tempted to quit. I've had my own mentors who've guided me, corrected me, and encouraged me to keep going when things seemed impossible. They've made all the difference in my success. Commit to lifelong learning. Whether it's through books, courses, seminars, or mentorship, make it a point to learn something new every single day. The world is filled with endless resources, and there's no limit to how much you can grow. In fact, the more you learn, the more you'll realize how much there is to discover. Remember, the journey of self-education never ends. As you continue to learn and grow, your potential for success expands. There is always more to know, more to achieve, and more to become. Keep learning, stay curious, and never stop developing yourself. That's how you achieve everything you want in life. Self-discipline is the cornerstone of success. It's the ability to push yourself to take action even when you don't feel like it, and to stay focused on your long-term goals even when the short-term distractions are tempting. Without self-discipline, success remains a distant dream. You can have all the ambition, talent, and resources in the world, but without the willpower to do what needs to be done consistently, those things won't matter. Let's break it down. Self-discipline is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. It's not the grand gestures or rare moments of inspiration that lead to success. It's the small, consistent actions taken every single day. The habits you build today will determine where you stand tomorrow. You don't become successful by accident. You become successful by choice, and more specifically, by choosing to be disciplined even when it's hard. I've seen it countless times. People with immense potential fail simply because they lack the discipline to stay committed. They start strong, they're excited, but when the initial excitement fades and the work becomes monotonous, they lose focus. They stop working. They start procrastinating. But the successful people, the ones who achieve extraordinary things, are the ones who don't allow themselves to fall into that trap. They stay committed. They work even when it's tough. They keep going regardless of how they feel. That's discipline in action. Think of it like this. Self-discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. If you keep practicing discipline daily, it becomes a natural part of who you are. For example, I remember in the early years of my career, I wasn't always the disciplined person I am today. I would let distractions get to me and I'd allow myself to procrastinate. But over time, I realized that success wasn't going to come unless I developed discipline. I started small. I committed to getting up early, to reading daily, to sticking to a strict schedule. Gradually, those small efforts built up and became habits. Self-discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about consistency. You don't need to be flawless. What matters is that you make the effort, that you show up every day, and that you keep moving forward. When you practice self-discipline, you're sending a message to your brain that your goals are non-negotiable. You're telling yourself that your future is more important than the temporary comfort of procrastination or laziness. Here's the thing about discipline. It requires sacrifice. You'll have to say no to the things that don't align with your goals. You'll have to give up instant gratification in favor of long-term rewards. It's not always easy. In fact, it can be downright uncomfortable. But that's where the magic happens. It's in those moments of discomfort that your character is built. It's when you push through the temptation to quit, when you resist the urge to indulge, that you make the most progress. But don't think of self-discipline as a burden. Think of it as a tool that sets you free. It's the tool that helps you stay on track when everything else is pulling you in different directions. It's the tool that makes sure you don't give up when things get tough. The more disciplined you become, the more freedom you'll have to focus on what matters most. You'll find yourself accomplishing more than you ever thought possible. And you'll do it with a sense of fulfillment, knowing that your success is the result of your own effort, not luck or circumstance. The key is to start small and build up gradually. Don't try to overhaul your life in one day. Commit to one small change and stick to it. Whether it's waking up earlier, exercising regularly, or reading every day, pick one thing that will move you closer to your goals and make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Over time, that habit will grow and your self-discipline will become stronger. When you master the art of self-discipline, nothing will be able to stop you. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the discipline to keep going, day in and day out. So embrace discipline. Cultivate it. Make it your habit. Because with self-discipline, you will achieve everything you want in life. Taking calculated risks is an essential part of growth and success. The truth is, you can't reach new heights without stepping out of your comfort zone. Many people live their entire lives within a safe bubble, avoiding risks and staying in familiar situations because they're afraid of failure or uncertainty. But here's the reality. Safety won't bring you success. Comfort won't lead to greatness. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you must be willing to take risks, and more importantly, take smart, calculated risks. Let me tell you something. Success doesn't happen by playing it safe. The most successful people in history didn't get where they are by sticking to the familiar. They took risks. Risks that pushed them beyond their limits and into new territories. But these weren't reckless risks. They didn't gamble blindly. They took calculated risks, carefully weighing the potential rewards against the possible setbacks. They were willing to take chances, but they did so with their eyes wide open, prepared to face whatever came their way. Think about some of the most successful entrepreneurs and innovators of the past. People like Thomas Edison, who risked everything to build the light bulb, or Steve Jobs, who risked his career to build Apple into what it is today. None of these people achieved what they did by playing it safe. They took risks, but they took those risks with purpose and with planning. They understood that the greatest rewards come when you take bold actions, but you must also be thoughtful and strategic in those actions. Now, let me be clear. Taking a risk doesn't mean being reckless. A calculated risk is one where you assess the potential benefits and weigh them against the costs. You don't just jump in blindly without thinking. You take the time to understand the situation, to gather the facts, and to make an informed decision. Even then, you're never guaranteed success. But the point is, you've given yourself the best chance to succeed by approaching the risk with clarity and strategy. Think of it this way. If you play it safe all the time, you're never going to grow. You're going to stay stuck in the same place. Growth happens when you stretch yourself, when you push past your current limitations. It happens when you dare to try something new, even though you're not sure if it will work. But that's where the magic lies. The greatest growth comes when you are willing to take that leap, knowing that you might fall, but also knowing that you don't have to risk everything at once. Start small. Take incremental steps outside your comfort zone. It could be something as simple as asking for that promotion at work, starting a new project, or even investing in something new. Each small risk builds your confidence, and over time you'll find yourself taking bigger and more meaningful risks. The key is to get started. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for all the stars to align. Take that first step and let the momentum carry you forward. Of course, failure is a possibility when you take risks, but failure is not something to fear. It's something to embrace. Every risk carries the potential for failure, but failure is a lesson. It's a chance to learn, to adjust, and to get better. The greatest successes come not from avoiding failure, but from learning how to bounce back from it. So don't let the fear of failure hold you back from taking calculated risks. Remember, the only real failure is the failure to try. I've taken many risks in my own life and career. Some worked out, some didn't. Each one taught me something valuable. Each one pushed me to become better, to think differently, and to stretch beyond my limits. And that's exactly what I want for you. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to be willing to take those calculated risks. Step outside your comfort zone, make your move, and trust yourself. Because when you do, you'll discover a world of possibilities you never imagined. The road to success is never straight, and it's never easy, but it is filled with opportunities for growth if you're willing to take the risks that come with it. So take the leap, step out of your comfort zone, embrace the uncertainty, and know that with the right mindset and preparation, the risks you take today will lead you to the success you desire. Failure is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. Many people see failure as the end of the road, as a definitive mark on their journey that signals defeat. But let me tell you, failure is not the end, it's simply feedback. It's the lesson you need to learn in order to move forward and get closer to success. If you want to achieve anything significant in life, you have to learn to see failure not as something that holds you back, but as a necessary part of the process. Consider the great inventors and leaders throughout history. Thomas Edison, for example, failed thousands of times before he successfully invented the light bulb. Imagine if he had stopped after the first or the 100th failure. We wouldn't have the modern conveniences we take for granted today. Edison himself said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset you need to adopt. Failure is not a reflection of your abilities. It's simply a reflection of the process you're going through to find success. When you fail, what you're really doing is learning. Every time something doesn't go as planned, you gain knowledge, insight, and understanding that will ultimately guide you toward your goal. It's like learning to walk. When you're a child, you don't walk perfectly the first time. You stumble, you fall, but with each attempt, you learn something new about your balance, your coordination, and your approach to walking. And eventually you master it. The same applies to anything in life. Each failure, each mistake brings you one step closer to mastering your craft. I remember a time in my own life when things didn't go as I planned. I was building a business, and at one point everything seemed to be falling apart. I made mistakes and I felt defeated. But instead of seeing that as the end, I realized it was an opportunity to grow. I looked at what went wrong, understood the lesson, and used that knowledge to rebuild stronger and smarter. And it wasn't just me. This is the story of so many successful people. They didn't let failure stop them. They used it as a tool to propel themselves forward. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go your way. After all, society tells us that success should come quickly, easily, and without failure. But that's a lie. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about learning how to bounce back from it. It's about developing resilience. When you face failure, it's not about how hard you fall. It's about how you get back up and keep moving forward. So, what do you do when failure knocks on your door? You don't shut it out, you welcome it. You embrace it as a teacher, as a valuable resource that can help you grow. You analyze the situation and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I do better next time? And then you get back to work. You keep pushing forward, armed with the lessons you've learned. Remember, every successful person you know has failed at something. Every entrepreneur, every artist, every athlete has faced setbacks. But the key difference between those who succeed and those who quit is their ability to keep going after failure. They don't let failure define them. They use it to refine their strategies, their mindset, and their approach. They turn failure into fuel for their success. You see, failure is a vital part of the equation. Without it, you don't get the lessons you need to succeed. It's through failure that you sharpen your skills, strengthen your resolve, and develop the character necessary for lasting success. So the next time you fail, don't be discouraged. Be grateful for the opportunity to learn. Because in the end, it's not failure that determines your future. It's how you respond to it. Failure is not your enemy, it's your greatest ally. It's the feedback you need to improve, to grow, and to ultimately reach your potential. So embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward, because success is not about avoiding failure. It's about learning how to use failure to your advantage. And when you do that, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Gratitude and patience. Two simple words, yet they hold the power to transform your journey to success. Too many people rush through life, always chasing, always wanting, but never stopping to appreciate what they have. They focus so much on where they want to be that they forget to acknowledge how far they've come. But let me tell you, if you don't learn to appreciate the process, if you don't develop the patience to endure the journey, you will never reach the heights you are aiming for. Gratitude is a mindset shift. It's learning to see abundance even when things aren't perfect. It's about recognizing that every challenge, every struggle, every setback is part of your growth. You see, life doesn't always give you what you want immediately. It gives you what you need to grow into the person who can handle what you want. And if you're not grateful for what you have now, you won't be ready for what's next. The farmer understands this principle well. He doesn't plant a seed and expect to harvest the next morning. He knows that the process takes time. He waters, he nurtures, he waits. And when the time is right, the harvest comes. Success works the same way. You can't plant the seeds of effort today and demand instant results tomorrow. You have to trust the process, stay patient, and keep working. Impatience will rob you of the success that persistence would have delivered. Many people give up too soon because they expect immediate results. They start a business and quit when they don't see profits in the first few months. They set a goal but abandon it when the journey gets tough. They look at others who have achieved success and think it happened overnight. But nothing worth having is built in a day. You must develop the patience to endure the seasons of waiting and the gratitude to appreciate every step along the way. I remember a time when I struggled financially. I had big dreams, but at that moment, I was barely getting by. I could have focused on what I lacked. I could have let frustration and impatience take over, but instead, I chose gratitude. I focused on what I did have, my health, my potential, the ability to learn and improve. And that shift in mindset made all the difference. Because when you appreciate where you are, you put yourself in a position to grow. Great leaders, thinkers, and successful people throughout history have understood this. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." That's a philosophy for life. If you constantly dwell on what you lack, you'll always feel empty. But when you recognize what you have, you create an abundance mindset, one that attracts more success into your life. Patience and gratitude also help you stay motivated because, let's be honest, the journey to success is not always easy. There will be days when you want to quit, when progress feels slow, when obstacles seem overwhelming. But if you stay patient, if you keep working, even when you don't see immediate results, the rewards will come. And when you maintain gratitude, you remain positive, focused, and energized no matter what challenges come your way. So start practicing gratitude daily. Every morning, take a moment to reflect on what you already have, your opportunities, your lessons, your health, your ability to grow. And remind yourself that success is a journey, not an instant event. It takes time, and the only way to reach your goals is through patience, persistence, and an appreciation for the process. Because when you master gratitude and patience, you don't just change your mindset, you change your entire life. If you don't know where you're going, how will you ever get there? One of the greatest mistakes people make is wandering through life without clear, measurable goals. They have vague desires. They want to be successful. They want to be wealthy. They want to be happy, but they never define what success, wealth, or happiness looks like. And because they never set a clear target, they never hit it. The key to achieving everything you want in life is to be specific, to set measurable goals, and to put a deadline on your ambitions. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Too many people treat their dreams like lottery tickets, hoping that one day, by some miracle, they'll wake up with everything they want. But life doesn't work that way. You don't stumble into success. You design it. You must set clear goals, write them down, and create a step-by-step plan to make them a reality. The great philosopher Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And setting goals is one of the most powerful habits you can develop. Imagine a ship setting sail without a destination. It drifts with the currents, tossed by the wind, uncertain of where it will end up. That's how most people live their lives. But if the captain has a clear map, a course plotted, and a destination in mind, that ship moves with purpose. Your goals are your map. They give you direction, they keep you focused, and they help you measure progress. One of the first lessons I learned on my journey to success was the power of writing down my goals. I didn't just say I want to be successful. I wrote down exactly what I wanted, how much income I wanted to earn, what kind of lifestyle I envisioned. And once I had those goals on paper, I broke them down into steps. What would I need to do in the next 5 years, the next year, the next month, the next week, the next day? Suddenly, success wasn't some distant dream. It became a plan I could follow. You must also make your goals measurable. Saying, "I want to get in shape," is not a goal. Saying, "I will lose 20 pounds in the next 6 months by exercising 4 times a week and eating healthy," is a goal. It's specific. It's measurable. It has a deadline. And because it's clear, you can track your progress and adjust as needed. The same applies to financial goals. Don't just say, "I want to be rich." Define what wealth means to you. Do you want to earn $100,000, 0 cents a year? Do you want to build a business that generates passive income? Do you want to invest and grow your wealth over time? The clearer you are, the easier it becomes to take action. Napoleon Hill, in his classic book, Think and Grow Rich, wrote, "A goal is a dream with a deadline." That's the secret. You must not only dream, but also set deadlines. A goal without a deadline creates no urgency. But when you set a time frame, you give yourself a reason to act. You create pressure that moves you forward. Another critical factor in goal setting is reviewing them regularly. Don't just write them down and forget about them. Look at them every day. Remind yourself why you started. Adjust when necessary. Life will throw obstacles in your path, but when you stay focused on your goals, you'll always find a way forward. So take out a pen and paper. Write down exactly what you want. Be specific. Set a deadline. Break it into steps. And then start working toward it every single day, because when you set clear, measurable goals, success stops being a possibility. It becomes inevitable. One of the greatest lessons I ever learned was the power of visualization. The mind is a powerful tool, but it works best when given a clear image of what it's working toward. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. The great inventor, Thomas Edison, once said, "If we did all the things we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves." And yet most people never realize their true potential because they don't keep their vision clear. I remember when I first set out on my journey to success. And I didn't just hope to be successful, I saw it. I would sit quietly and picture the life I wanted, the kind of house I would live in, the kind of income I would earn, the kind of impact I would have. And the more I visualized it, the more real it became. I was believing, and that belief gave me energy, it gave me focus, it gave me drive. When you see it every day, it becomes impossible to ignore. It pulls you forward, it reminds you why you started. It gives you the strength to push through the hard times, because make no mistake, there will be hard times. There will be days when you feel like giving up, when obstacles seem too big, when doubts creep in. But if your vision is strong enough, nothing will stop you. That's why you must make your vision tangible. Write it down. Create a vision board. Look at it every morning. Speak it out loud. Remind yourself why you're working so hard. And don't just see the end goal. See the process. Picture yourself taking the steps, putting in the work, overcoming the challenges. See yourself growing, improving, becoming the person capable of achieving that dream. The great philosopher Seneca once said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Keeping your vision alive is part of that preparation. It keeps you ready, it keeps you moving, and when the opportunity comes, you won't hesitate, you'll be prepared to seize it. So don't let your vision fade. Keep it alive, see it clearly, feel it deeply, revisit it every single day, and let it drive you forward until one day you're not just dreaming about it, you're living it.